there's a guy called Ron Blakely. He's copped a few about the head, so he's not too much help at the moment. The place has been trashed.
Same MO as the others?
Identical. Strictly cash and valuables.
Boss? All the windows are intact, so there's no sign of forced entry.
Well, if it was that easy to get in, why all the mess?
I know, but it looks like Blakely was in the bedroom when they hit.
What do we know about him?
A successful farmer, married, 2 kids. Both at boarding school, according to a neighbour.
Mrs. Blakely?
Nope, no sign of her.
I'll get onto it.
Was he in bed when they broke in?
I put the time of attack as somewhere around midday. Neighbour reckons she saw him on a tractor spraying trees till about 11.
So who phoned the ambulance?
Haven't checked it out yet.
3 aggravated burglaries and no leads. The divisional inspector's going to have us for breakfast.
Yes, he's been taken to the hospital for treatment. I'm sorry, that's as much as I can say at the moment. Thanks, bye.
Yeah, average height, average build, darkish hair. It's not a real lot to go on, Mrs. Tremaine. Boss, Mez here to see you. Yes, I know it.
Charlie.
What's the doc? How's Ron?
Oh, some head
Hello,
injuries,
Thomas,
nothing too
please.
serious as far as I know.
We'd like a word.
And where exactly did you see them, Mr. Larson?
Yes, no, I have taken a note of all the details, Mrs. Tremaine, and I'll pass it on to the other officers as soon as they arrive.
Yeah.
And thanks again.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Larson. Bye-bye.
The town's got the jitters, Tom. People want to see some affirmative action being taken out here.
Gentlemen, we can't do any more than we're already doing.
Yeah, no one's doubting that for a minute, Sergeant, but as the Mayor pointed out, the people want to see results. They want to see arrests being made.
Arthur, I've got my people working double shifts already. Got reinforcements on the way from St David's, and the Special Response Force will be here any minute.
Ron Blakely is a good friend of mine, Sergeant. He's a very good friend.
Good friend or not, Charlie, we can't do any more than we're already doing.
Tough.
Mrs. Blakely's over at Widgery for a couple of days visiting her sister. I left a message for her to contact the station as soon as she gets in.
Good. Should be able to give us a list of exactly what's missing.
You know, the boss was right. Why didn't they just take what they wanted to and leave it at that? Why go to all the trouble of trashing this place?
They've got to find out where it is first, Mags. You know, the old shotgun on the face trick, screaming abuse, smashing a few glasses. Loosens the tongue like you wouldn't believe.
They're a pair of bloody psychos.
Yeah, it'd be nice to nail the bastards before the SRS blokes come in and grab all the glory.
Well, I don't reckon this lot's going to hang around too long, mate. I mean, 3 break-ins in 6 days.
Yeah, no leads and no clues. Not so far, anyway.
Unless Blakely can help us out.
I doubt they'd leave him behind in one piece if he could, Mags. No, I think Nick's right. At least one or both of these blokes is into serious violence. Oh, not Munro, I don't believe it. They really must be scraping the bottom of the barrel, eh?
PJ, you old hoon. Keeping banker's hours now, I see.
Been up with the sparrows, mate. You know, when they said Special Response Squad, I thought maybe someone with a few clues.
With you around, it's the one of the bloody town still standing.
Tried burning the dam, but they kept rebuilding the damn thing. Cole, how are you?
I'll be a lot happy when we've wrapped this one up, mate.
Job getting to you, mate.
You two obviously know one another.
Yeah, we batched together for 6 months after we left the academy.
Worst 6 months of my life. Senior Sergeant Cole Monroe with the Special Response Squad.
Watch him, Mags. He's a sex maniac from way back.
Learned it all from watching him.
Constable Maggie Doyle.
And a fine Irish name it is, too. My partner, Constable Joe Tonelli.
Don't ever lend him money, Joe.
Yeah, funny you should say that.
Oh, give me a break. Who bought your breakfast?
I did.
Get out of it!
A dinner as well, Sarge.
Nothing's changed.
Ready when you are, Senior Sergeant.
We do know they're armed and dangerous, and we think they're responsible for upwards of 13 aggravated burglaries in these adjoining districts. We got men covering every district hit.
Do we know for sure how many people we're looking for?
Our evidence so far indicates 2 masked men, heights varying from 160 to 180 centimetres, no distinguishing marks or scars, and no vehicle description.
Oh, that gives us a lot to go on.
We've run a computer check on the MOs and come up with a list of possibles we're currently trying to trace.
One thing we do know, the first of the robberies occurred at the start of the picking season. All the other targets have been situated in fruit-growing areas.
So it could be pickers that they could be using the pickers for cover.
Not just a pretty face, are you, PJ? Mount Thomas is the last area to be harvested in this part of the state. It is vital we make a breakthrough before the jobs run out and the pickers scatter.
The local TV station's been
Mountains
after us for an
Police.
update. I thought it might be an idea if you were to go on camera and make a public appeal.
Thanks
for
very
some-
much. That was the hospital. Ron Blakely's just regained consciousness.
Look, Tom, I'm on all that big on the media stuff. Leave that end of it to you, mate.
We'll be at the hospital, boss.
I was making some repairs to a tractor and I thought I heard a car pull up and I went to have a look and I saw that the back door of the house was open.
Did you see the car?
No, I didn't.
Go on, Mr. Blakely.
Well, I went up to the house to check and I thought I could hear a noise coming from the bedroom.
Did you realise at this stage that someone was inside the house?
Oh, I didn't know what to think. No, I walked into the bedroom and somebody hit me from behind and that's all I remember.
And you didn't see who hit you?
And you didn't see a car? Are you sure, Mr. Blakely? All right, think back. Anything unusual happened that morning or even the day before? Someone trying to sell you something, asking you directions?
I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave it there. He's still very weak.
Mr. Blakely, this is very important. Any little thing you can remember. Please try, Mr. Blakely. Think back to the point where you entered the house.
I'm sorry, gentlemen. I'm going to have to ask you to leave now. He's still very heavily sedated, Sergeant.
Come on.
If he does remember anything, I'll contact you straight away, Sergeant.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Chrissy. He hears a car pull up, he goes to check, the back door of the house is wide open and he just walks in without suspecting a thing.
It's not like the city, Cole. People aren't into locking their doors and getting suspicious about things like that, mate.
Maybe he thought his wife had come back.
Yeah, all right, I'll buy that. But why the bruising to his face if he was hit from behind?
He could have fallen and hit his face.
I better be careful, you could have my job.
Don't worry, in a few years I plan to.
Having you as a partner would add a whole new dimension.
I told you, Mags. Now, I warned you about
Don't
this
listen
guy.
to him, he's just jealous.
Of what?
On you, Maggie.
Ooh, you know how to hurt a guy. It may surprise you, but underneath I'm a sensitive new age male.
They do exist, do they?
No, cynic. Guess what sort of a dog I've got?
A pit bull terrier.
A chihuahua. See how wrong you can be?
Boy, that chihuahua must be, what, 18 years old
Well, I
by
used to
now.
have a chihuahua.
He's picked up more girls trying to...
Yeah, look, I'm sick of talking about me. Let's talk about you. What do you think of chihuahuas?
I think I'd prefer a pit bull terrier. At least you can see them coming. Good night. Yeah?
Cole Munro, Maggie. Have you got a minute?
Yeah, coming.
Hi.
Hi.
I just realised that we're practically next-door neighbours and I was wondering if you could, well, brief me on some of the locals, give me an idea of what to expect.
Look, Cole, I'm pretty new around here myself. PJ's the one to talk to, or Sergeant Croydon.
I was more interested in a woman's point of view and PJ doesn't like champagne.
Oh, what a shame. Neither do I. Look, thanks all the same, Cole, but yeah, I'm pretty exhausted and we've got a big day tomorrow.
Yeah, right. I'll keep this on ice, shall I? Night.
Good night.
Yes, Mrs. Tremaine. Did you contact the electricity company? Okay.
Yeah, read
no,
that
no
void
problem
help.
at all. Thank you.
Oh, great, that's all we need.
Haven't you got anything better to do than stand around reading copies of the local rag?
Nick was just
Yeah,
filling
I know, mate. They're giving us a bait. Now, that's their problem. Now, the best way to answer them is to get on with the job and not make any mistakes.
Yeah, well.
But I wasn't doing anything wrong.
Well, that's hardly the point, is it?
What's the problem?
Look, I found him in the pub cellar. Would you believe it? But he won't tell me what he was doing there or how he got in.
I was just looking around. That's all. Honest.
His father's away interstate and he's staying with his grandmother. I didn't want to worry you, but it's not the first time he's been in trouble, is it?
What were you doing in the cellar, mate?
Nothing.
All right. How'd you get in there?
Look, I don't want to press charges or anything. Can you just straighten him out, make sure he doesn't do it again? I've got to get back to work. Brett, now you listen to what Constable Patterson has to say, Brett, and don't do it again.
Come on. Where are you? In there.
What's going on?
Chris found him in the cellar of the pub. Wouldn't say what he was doing there or how he got in.
All right, leave him with me. You've got enough on your plate. All right, young Master Danielson, sit down. Let's see if we can't get to the bottom of this. If you're on someone else's land without that other person's consent, you're guilty of trespassing. Do you realise that? You were breaking the law. Why?
I don't know. I just felt like it, I guess.
If you keep doing things just because you feel like it, you know where you're going to end up? In jail, behind bars.
What about all those people who've been breaking into places and stealing things? They're not behind bars.
They will be. You can bet on that. All right, son. I'm not going to say anything to your father about this, but if it happens again, no more warnings. You'll be in big trouble.
Fine. Can I go now?
Yes, you can go. Sees the big boys getting away with it, thinks he can do the same.
I just had another chat with Blakely. For a bloke who's just had his home trashed, he's being pretty tight-lipped about it.
What about the woman who phoned the ambulance?
Says he's got no idea.
He's probably still getting over the thump he took. What about God's gift to the world of Special Task Force investigators?
Cole's all right, boss. He's a good bloke.
He's a show pony and an opportunist, PJ. I've seen him come and go. They're only interested in the shortest way to the top.
What's wrong with that?
Have a look around the back, will you, Joe? See what you can find. Something I've been meaning to ask you. You're not by any chance related to Pat Doyle at Glen Waverley, are you?
He's my father.
I served under him for nearly a year. You were a scrawny kid with ponytail and braces. You wouldn't come anywhere near the station.
Oh, only because he wouldn't let me. Oh, he was always trying to protect me from unsavoury characters.
You'll keep.
You bet I will. You think we missed something?
Well, you can't be too careful, can you? You know, I always thought farmers worked from dawn till dusk.
He said he heard a car.
Yeah, but if he thought it was just his wife, why come back to the house? Why not wait till he'd finished work?
Found this outside the window.
Which route did they take when they left the house?
Well, they went out through the back way, as far as we can tell.
I've just made some fresh tea. I thought if you all felt like a bit of a break.
Is this yours, Mrs. Blakely?
Yes. It's been missing for a long time. Thought it was gone for good. Thank you, Sergeant.
That fresh cuppa sounds like a good idea.
It's on its way.
Yeah, when was the last time you saw him cant onto the bridge, Mr. Baylor? All right, you haven't seen him since? Well, could you give us a description?
Hello, Mount Thomas Police. Calm down, madam. Just speak slowly and clearly.
Hold on, Mr. Baylor.
Yeah? Okay, hang on a second. Wayne, a lady over at Fisher Creek. 2 men with rifles approaching the house.
That's not far from the Blakely place. Call you back. Boss, a woman at Fisher Creek. 2 men approaching the house with rifles.
Mount Thomas to crime 865. Senior Sergeant Munro.
Crime 865, Munro.
We have a report of a woman being threatened by 2 armed men at a property 48 Fisher Creek Road. Mount Thomas 650 and
308 are already on their way.
Roger, Mount Thomas, on our way. Joe! Fisher Creek Road, which way?
Left at the main road.
The men were fencers doing a job for her husband.
I didn't know that, did I?
You were the one who took the call.
I was here too, Sarge. It sounded genuine enough to me.
Did you actually speak to the woman?
No, not exactly.
Then this has nothing to do with you then, does it?
The point is...
The point is, someone doesn't follow correct police phone procedure, and we end up chasing all over the countryside like a bunch of Keystone bloody cops. Wait till the press get a hold of that.
Newspapers starting to get to you, are they, Sergeant? Maybe you should have done those interviews after all.
Sergeant, I don't give a damn what the papers have to say. I just want the job done as quickly and efficiently as possible.
As I'm sure we all do, which means following up the occasional false alarm.
Look, I'm not questioning the level of commitment here. I'm questioning the methodology and the level of competence.
Cole's right. If we're going to nail the bastards, we have to sharpen up our act. Be more efficient.
She has no authority, no professional police training to speak of. She is a typist, for God's sake.
She's also a much-needed member of my staff, Sergeant. You sit out there and deal with 101 crank calls and false alarms that come in each day.
You're overreacting, Sergeant.
I don't want you tearing strips off one of my staff simply for doing her job. Any reprimanding to be done round here, I'll do it, not you.
Incoming calls from the public need proper coding and evaluation.
By the time they're properly coded and evaluated, the person on the other end of the line might well be dead. Then see what sort of a field day the press would have with that.
I told you before, I don't give a damn what the press has to say.
Don't you? I'd have thought good press coverage was an essential part of a quest for higher honours.
I think you're overstepping the mark here, Sergeant.
Ray Ellis from the Gazette, line 3, boss. He wants details of the run out to Fisher Creek.
Thanks, PJ. I'll deal with it. I am right in assuming you want me to handle this one?
Little bastard. You all right, love?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm ready. Don't worry about it, okay?
You know what I'd like to do?
Just leave it, Wade. You'll only make it worse. I'll take care of the tea, Ross. You take 5, you've earned it. Thanks.
I know what I'd do if it was me. I'd get your boss to find out what happened to Mrs. Blakely's other earring. That's what I'd do.
That's right, Mrs. Blakely. Just a few questions that need clearing up. Oh, by the way, when you come in, could you bring those pearl earrings with you? Ah, you never know. They might help us with our inquiries. Sorry to bother you, Mrs. Blakely. Thanks again. Well, she says she's got the other one.
Yeah, I wonder. The thing is, if it isn't hers, then someone else was with Blakely when the thieves broke in.
That'd explain why he was attacked in the bedroom.
Not to mention the woman who called the ambulance.
How's your Italian boss? I got Frank Murillo on line 4. He's jumping up and down about something.
Frank, Tom Croydon.
Can I have a word with you for a tick? Sort of a personal matter. Ross Patterson, she's more than just a secretary typist at the station. She also happens to be Constable Patterson's wife. And I wasn't sure whether or not you were aware of that.
You're saying I should overlook any cock-ups at the front desk because the lady in question happens to be married to a cop?
No. I'm saying it wouldn't hurt to take their feelings into account before you start paying out on Mrs. Patterson in public. Sergeant.
Who the bloody hell do you think you're talking to?
Nick, bring the car around.
Report of another break-in. Farmer's wife's been beaten up, animal jelly.
You two see what you can do for Mrs. Morello.
Tom! Oh, you mean the paddocks the bus has forced their way in and no question.
An ambulance on its way, mate. She'll be right.
Did you get a good look at them, Mr. Morello?
If I get a look at it, mate, shoot them on the spot and leave for the dogs.
Is Maria conscious?
Yeah, can we talk to her? Come inside.
I don't know.
Should she get a look at them or not?
She looks bad.
Still here.
Waiting for news on Frank Morello's wife. Hospital said they'd ring.
Good friends?
Salt of the earth. Decent, hard-working people. Scum like these come along and...
Makes it hard, I know. Yeah, all right, so I'm not a man of the people.
But I want these bastards just as much as you do, Tom.
Finding out about human nature while you're climbing the ladder mightn't be such a bad idea after all, Sergeant. Might even help you get where you're going that much faster. Mount Thomas Police, Sergeant Croydon. Frank, how is she? Ah, it's good news. Yeah, good. Look, if you're staying in town tonight and you need a bed, there's a spare bed at our place. Of course it's no trouble. Nell's got everything ready.
Well, I reckon that'll have to do me.
One for the road?
Thanks, Pooch. I'm going to call it a night.
It's not such a bad idea.
Righto.
Good night.
Night, Jack.
Here, guys.
Bit on the quiet side, Chrissy.
The break-ins are getting to them. No one wants to risk going out leaving their families unprotected.
We'll get them. If I have anything to do with it. Chrissy?
You awake, Maggie?
You left before I had a chance to say anything. I was hoping we could talk.
It's late, Cole.
Just 5 minutes, please.
Come in.
Tom Croydon seems to think I'm in the habit of using people to get what I want. Is that what you think?
Are you asking me as a cop or a woman?
Both.
Cole, I think you have your own agendas happening with your police work and your private life. And I don't think you worry too much about how they affect other people.
What if I told you you were wrong?
I don't really know you well enough to know one way or the other, do I?
Maggie, my ex-father-in-law was a career cop, just like your old man. He was a tough, hard-nosed bastard who treated me like crap because he thought I wasn't good enough to marry his little princess. He treated me so badly that eventually the marriage broke up.
And you've been trying to prove him wrong ever since.
I've been trying to stand on my own 2 feet and do what's best for me. Just hasn't always been that easy. You come from a police family. You must know what it's like to have to prove yourself, to be as good as or better than. No one really understands. We know each other better than you think. We're two of a kind, Maggie.
I doubt it, Cole. Because there's one thing that we would never agree on.
Maggie, are you awake?
Yeah.
I've just been locking up downstairs and I heard noises. There's someone in the bar.
Police, hold it! Put your hands on your head! Put your hands on your head! Now get up slowly. Turn around.
Brett!
I thought we had an arrangement.
Can I leave this in your capable hands, Sergeant? I believe Constable Doyle has all the relevant details. If there's anything you feel you might need to discuss when you get back.
I think we can safely leave the debriefing for another time, don't you?
I repeat, I thought we had an agreement. What were you doing back in the pub?
He was into the fridges, stealing bottles of booze.
Right. Home phone number.
Nah, don't tell Dad.
Is he home?
Yes, he's asleep. He just got back from a trip.
Phone number.
Could you stop that, please?
I do what I can, Sergeant, but I've got a rig to push. I've got to go where the money is.
What about the boy's mother?
Well, lives with some bloke in Sydney. Booze, pills, she's a complete mess. Didn't even contest the custody case.
Well, if he continues at this rate, he's going to end up in a detention centre. You realise that?
Well, what do you want me to do? Give up my job and go on the dole and stay home just so as I can look after him? I've just bought a new rig. The bank could have me guts for garters. Look, deep down, he's a good kid. He's just a bit headstrong. He only ever seems to get into strife when I'm out of town or just got back.
You're away from home a lot, aren't you, Mr. Danielson?
Look, I'm at the end of my tether, Sergeant Croydon. Right now, I'm willing to try anything.
It's Mrs. Tremaine again.
Humour her, Nick.
Tell her to go get onto talkback radio. Although my first thought would have been better.
No, Mrs. Tremaine, I'm still here.
Good morning.
Now, exactly how was he looking at you on the
morning,
bus?
We'd like to speak to Sergeant Croydon, wouldn't we, Ron? If it's not too much trouble.
Yeah, sure. I'll just see if he's free.
That's no good. Oh, but asking you for directions isn't necessarily the same thing as making advances, though, is it, Mrs. Tremaine?
Maggie Nick did the rounds of the local growers, compiled a list of names of the seasonal workers. We keeping you up, Sarge? We cross-checked the list with records.
Sorry, PJ. Ron and Jean Blakely to see you.
Bring him in.
Well, it's mainly alcohol and drug-related stuff.
Mr. and Mrs. Blakely, come on in, sit down.
Excuse me.
It seems I was wrong about that earring after all, Sergeant. It wasn't. It isn't mine. Is it, Ron?
No, it isn't.
Whose is it, Mrs. Blakely?
It belongs to Val Copeland.
Charlie Copeland's wife.
It seems Mrs. Copeland had dropped in to see my husband while I was away visiting my sister. Didn't she, Ron? In fact, I believe she was there when our house was broken into. Wasn't she?
Yeah, she was there. Val Copeland?
PJ, I'll know the address.
Under normal circumstances, I might have been able to turn a blind eye, maintain a dignified silence. But since Mrs. Morello was so savagely beaten...
We appreciate you coming forward, Mrs. Blakely.
I'm only sorry I didn't do so earlier.
Mrs. Copeland, we'd like to have a word with you down at the station, if you wouldn't mind.
I appreciate what you're doing, Sergeant. I know you're going out on a limb on this one.
He doesn't know it was your idea.
No, he thinks his old man's scared of you.
I'm still not entirely sure what I'm supposed to be doing here. Tom, you might be able to explain what this is all about.
I would have thought it was perfectly obvious what it's all about, Val. You have information which might assist us in our inquiries. You did call the ambulance out for Ron, didn't you?
We want to know exactly what you saw when the Blakely house was broken into, Mrs. Copeland.
Where were you, for starters?
I was, in the bedroom.
Alone?
I was with Ron. He thought he heard a noise in the kitchen. We thought it might have been Jean. We panicked. Then Ron went out to the kitchen
And?
Go on, Val.
I was trying to get dressed. Then I heard yelling and crashing. I heard Ron call out. I knew he'd been hurt. I grabbed my clothes and I climbed out the window and I hid at the side of the house. I could hear men in the bedroom. It sounded like they were smashing the place up. There was nothing I could do. I stayed put till they left.
You didn't see them leave?
There were two of them. They were running to their car. I remember one of them pulling off this sort of balaclava thing. I didn't get a good look at his face. I swear, it all happened so fast.
Please try, Mrs. Copeland. We know they were wearing balaclavas, but something about their physical appearance, something about their voices, anything.
I only saw them for the briefest moment.
Was there anything about them that you do remember? Any distinguishing marks or scars?
One of the men's shirt collars opened when they were getting into the car. It looked like he was wearing some strange sort of necklace. Oh, it could well have been a tattoo.
Right, well, if you're happy with the wording, just sign the statement there and you're free to go, Mr. Blakely.
Hello, Ron. Gene. Heard about the narrow escape, mate. How's the head?
Oh, it's much better, thanks, Charlie.
Just had a call from our next-door neighbour. Said she saw Val being driven off by a couple of burly police types. What's my wicked wife been up to now, Constable? Here she is. I just had a call from Louise. Said she saw you being driven off in a police car.
We'll be on our way now, Charlie.
Now, don't you two be strangers, all right? I want you to give Val a call. When the noggin's feeling better, we'll do something about dinner. Have you been driving through stop signs again?
Oh, drive me home, Charlie. We'll talk about it later.
As the wife of the town's youngest councillor, you're supposed to be setting an example, darling.
Love to be a fly on the wall at that dinner.
Barry Edmonds, armed robbery and standover merchant, released from Pentridge 6 weeks ago. Some known accomplices.
All right, start with the hotels, motels and caravan parks. Oh, and real estate agents. Get Nick and Maggie to give you a hand.
Right.
Hey! Hello? Is anybody there? I want to go home.
It's illegal.
I have his father's express permission. In fact, it was his idea.
But why?
If one afternoon in those cells will keep Brett Danielson out of jail, then it'll be time well spent. Chances are he'll think so too.
And what if it has the reverse effect?
Then I'll have made a serious error of judgment.
Exactly.
Boss, we've got a positive ID.
The man answering Edmund's description took out a lease on a farmhouse at Pine Ridge.
Rent's paid up till the end of the month.
Sergeant Munro will be calling the shots when we get to the farm. Other members of the SRS will meet us there. Sergeant?
Right, once we've established the place is occupied, we seal the road in and block all the exits. Tom, Wayne and Maggie, you take the side. Joe, you and Nick take the back. Me and PJ and my backup team will go in through the doors and pray they're not expecting us. If one or both of them make a break for it, remember, they're armed and dangerous. Good luck. Let's do it.
here. The bastards are shot through. It's another bloody no-show.
Easy, Cole.
Take it easy. There's nothing here. Another bloody false alarm.
Patch me through to Melbourne Central, please.
This is the police. We know you're up there, Edmonds. What I want you to do, put down your weapons, lay down on your bellies and stick your hands through that manhole. We can make this as easy or as difficult as you like. We've got tear gas. I'm going to use it in 1 minute unless I see those hands come through that manhole.
Perhaps someone should notify Monroe.
What do you reckon, son? Seen enough of the Mount Thomas Hilton? Ready to check out? I'll get Constable Patterson here to drive you home. I could always arrange for you to come back tomorrow if you like.
No way. I ain't ever coming back here. Never.
Come on, mate. Let's get you out of here, eh?
So you got to know whose message it is.
Okay, guys. Who's for a beer? It is my shout.
Good on you.
No, thanks.
Ridiculous.
Look, we had a long, hard day. We ended up with a win. What's the problem?
Well, you might have ended up with a win, PJ, but we're still trying to get this efficiency thing sorted out, right, Ross?
That was just a little stirring to keep everyone's eye on the ball. Look, you're an efficient unit. I am the first to admit it.
That sounds like the old soft soap routine.
Some people do anything to avoid drinking alone.
Well, some people do anything to please their mates.
Especially their old mates from the police academy.
Too right.
Maggie?
Look, PJ, let me see how I feel after I've had a shower. Excuse me. See you guys.
See you later, Maggie.
Okay, guys. Now, don't say I didn't offer, all right? Thin-skinned, the lot of you.
We're not going to let him get away with this, are we?
No way, Nick. I say make him pay.
Through the nose. PJ!
Don't let him budge until his wallet's empty.
Good eye. PJ!
Hey, listen, I'll join you, all right?
Checking out.
Yeah. Glad I had a chance to say goodbye.
Goodbye, Cole. It's been fascinating watching you work.
We could have gone for a drink, but, well, duty calls.
I understand.
It doesn't have to end here, though. If you make it into the city in the not-too-distant future, please, give me a call.
Thanks.
Maggie, that one thing you said we'd never agree on.
Does it matter?
Yes, it matters.
Cole, you're into power. And you don't care who you hurt or use to get on.
Better get moving if you're going to make that interview, Cole.
My idea of success is not running a five-man station out the sticks, Maggie.
I don't know. We didn't do too badly catching Edmonds for you.
Touche. Don't lose that number.
Cole!
You better get going when you miss your interview.
Bye.
Goodbye, Cole.
I'm leaving now, boss. Anything you need?
No, thanks.
I, thought I might go across the road, join the others for a drink. You interested?
I promised Nell I'd be on time for dinner for once. We've got Frank Morello staying while his wife's in hospital.
Boss, how'd it go with young Brett?
Hard to say. I think only time will tell with that one.
I'm sorry about sounding off earlier.
You were voicing a legitimate concern. For all we know, it could have backfired. But not too often, one hopes. Could lose too many friends that way.
And say at this stage, Karen, is that we've apprehended 2 men answering the suspect's descriptions at a Mount Thomas farmhouse earlier this afternoon.
And is definitely a hunt.
Oh, I don't know. Looks on everything, are they, Mag?
Not in his case. I thought you two were really hitting it off. You thought wrong then, didn't you?
What a guy.
Why, PJ, I thought you taught him everything he knew.
Well, he can't have been a very good pupil then, can he, man?
Not very.
No, if that's what it takes to get to the top, give me a whoop-whoop any day.
PJ, my glass is empty.
Drought on over here. With 1 or 2 exceptions.
You mug.
You, dunce.